Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you're watching around the world, or whenever you're watching around the world. You are joining Speedforce Racing on a Wednesday evening, which means one thing. It is, of course, Division 1. For round 9, it is, of course, Australia. Do not attempt to adjust your TV screen's audio. This is, of course, not Indigo. Jamie's having a rest tonight. I am, of course, Energy Dan, and I'll be your commentator for this evening. Now, it looks like we've got a beautifully full grid for Division 1 race. We've brought in some reserves this evening. So we have got a great race planned for this spectacular circuit, which is, of course, is it Albert Park, Melbourne? I can't remember now. I get confused. Difficult track. Penalties are very easily taken here. It's a very straightforward one-stop round here. The two-stop is very, very detrimental unless there's anything like a safety car, a virtual safety car, that helps you negate that time loss in the pits. So majority of the drivers will be doing a one-stop. Anyone who's forced into a two-stop will be on the back foot. So do pay attention to what the drivers are doing. Now, it does look like we're going to have some okay weather for qualifying. We don't know what it's going to be like in the race. Let's get all the data up for you. Yeah. Do that. So let's see who's first out the garage. So of course this week we've already had Division 3 and Division 2 take to the track, and they've both been spectacular races. Some great action throughout. I'm very looking forward to see what Division 1 can put on a show for us. So we're hearing those engines fire up now. Who is the first out? Is it an Aston Martin? No, it is Night Creed. So I believe this is the third year now of the new track layout. Not massive changes, but enough to create a bit of a overtaking opportunity towards the end of Sector 3. Now, the one thing I noticed around here, not just with myself on Monday night, but watching and commentating on Division 2 drivers, is that your available battery is always less towards the end of the qualifying lap than what your deployable energy is. So for any of you not part of the league or not part of racing, the green bar above the battery percentage is what you are available to use per lap, which is of course technically 100%. And your battery percentage charge is what fluctuates by harvesting or deploying. And there's always an abundance left over to be able to use, but you don't have the actual charge. So we saw a few drivers about even coming across the line or just before the line. So I'll be intrigued to see what some of these Division 1 drivers can actually do in regards to battery charge and deployable ERS. So with it being a fast circuit, there is a few braking zones, but they're very short and sharp, so not much time for that battery to actually charge up compared to what you're deploying. Night Creed looks like he's making nice work of his... we've finally got Kevin Aronson joining the lobby, which is a great thing to see. So obviously Night Creed is a Division 3 driver, just reserving in Division 1 this evening. Looks like it's the Ferrari driver that will come across the line after that, so possibly La Grotta or AMS Kick. And now maybe Gags or Jelly. The Night Creed has been showing some really impressive pace increase over the last few weeks. So he comes across the line and sets the initial lap times of a 1:18.0, but that will change. And of course, Gajelli comes across with a 1:15.7. Absolute brilliant time there. We will likely see that come down a little bit more as the track rubbers in. Is it validated? Yeah, let's go back to the Ferrari driver of AMS Kick. So at the minute, AMS Kick is just starting. I have to keep it quite level actually. So yeah, as you can see there, the green bar and yellow bar going down quite exponentially together as the lap progresses. Just now starting to creep below the deployable limit, so his battery is less than what he can deploy. Very close to validation there for AMS Kick. So yeah, now you've just seen what I was on about. 6% with about 15% available deployable energy. Now Chris Tam goes with 1:15.770 just behind Gajelli. AMS Kick comes across the line and splits them with a 1:15.723, an absolute hair's breadth away from Gajelli. So Yusuf will be on an in-lap, yep. So La Grossa. Purple sector 2 for La Grossa. I will be very intrigued to see the tyre allocation of these drivers tonight when it comes to starting the race. Not too tidy on that last few corners there, but it looks like he's got hooked back up. He's got a good chunk of battery to use across this line. One of the first drivers to actually have battery percentage higher than deployable ability, and he goes up to P6 with a 1:16.667 as Fireblaze now goes quickest with a 1:15.560. Are we going to see low 1:15s tonight? SFR Matty reserving from Division 2. Yeah, he's a Division 1 driver that's just started a hot lap. He's just midway through Sector 1 now. One more corner and a dog leg, and he will be across the Sector 1 timing line to start Sector 2. 26.497 for Sector 1. Now, that battery is looking pretty low in the fastest part of the track. Nicely hooked up through turn 15, but gets a little bit squirrely on the rear axle there, but just keeps it on. He's got. He's actually invalidated. Unfortunate there for VMS Yaham. TBC clan, or TV clan, sorry, is a Division 3 driver, new to the league. He's reserving. Hopefully the McLaren's not on a fast lap. Oh, is that Bruss? Oh, Yaham's having issues here. Bruss is on a hot lap. Let's see what he does at turn 15. Oh, it's 16, I can never remember. But yeah, beautiful purple sector 2 there for Brusso 2. Down to the new layout of the track now with this hard right. I think it's 3 years now the track's been like this. And you know what, my memory's so bad, I can't remember what the old layout was. Bruss comes across the line and goes to P11 with a 1:16.961. So Kevin Allenson is actually harvesting right now, so I reckon he's on an in-lap. So TB clamp coming through sector 2 now. Across the timing line to start sector 3. And again, we're seeing that massive offset between battery charge level and deployable energy. Still in hot lap as well. A lot of people have been moving through there, even on qualifying. Oh, Gajelli, 15.531. Just a smidge faster than Fireblaze. Sorry, I missed that, guys. On board with Glock on an outlap now, so hopefully we'll be able to see him on a fast lap. He's actually only in sector 2 at the minute. He's got a McLaren coming through, which might be JSR Kevin, I think it is. Yep, JSR Kevin is also on an outlap. Night Creed is on a hot lap, but is that a Haskar of Klauser behind him? Nope. Yarham on an outlap, I believe. He's about to start a hot lap now, so yeah, stay on board with Yarham, the Division 1 driver. And he's actually going to get a nice cheeky tow here, I think. Not a strong one, but nonetheless, it will be some sort of a tow. Turns in very nice at turn 1, through turn 2, and then power down for that big long run down to turn 3. Struggling to get the car turned in, gets a bit of oversteer on exit, and oh wow, that's low wing setting there for Yarham, I think. Yeah, that is very much low wing setup, I believe. So Yarham struggling on that rear axle. He's getting very twitchy. Let's go with JSR Robbie. Oh wow, 15.336, so we are now in the low 115s. We're nearly 3/10 away from a 114 lap, which is absolutely spectacular. So well done to JSR Robbie. Fireblaze is also on a fresh hot lap. He's a smidge up on his time. Let's see what he can do as he comes across the timing line. Just around this corner, just before the braking zone of 2:15. And he is up by a 10. That puts him on the back of Gergley. No, in front of Gergley, actually. Or Gajelli, sorry. I think that's how we say his name. Looking much tidier here from Fireblaze. This is looking like a very good lap. And he's got a go. Oh, no! Luckily for Fireblaze, he's actually spanned partially into the pits, and he can actually pit to get back out to do another lap. And Kick having a bit of a spin as well. So it looks like drivers are struggling for rear traction. I've noticed quite a few drivers throughout the week running blatantly low downforce setups around here. And if you can manage the car well, it can pay dividends for your race pace, especially when it comes to DRS and fighting off people chasing you down with a low drag setup because of that DRS. But yeah, it's obviously tricky keeping that car on track. So on board with Bus 02 now, coming through sector 1 on a fresh new hot lap with some fresh feel goods on this car. He's approaching a bit of traffic, but if he's lucky, he might actually get a bit of a tow as we come through this back section where the DRX activates just in a moment. He's there, and he might just get a tow down to turn 17. No, it looks like a little bit too far ahead now. So unfortunately for Bus 02, he doesn't get a tow. Lovely corner there from Bus 02. This is going to be an improvement, I believe, by about 3/10. Oh, AMS Kick with a pass with a 15.326. 10 thousandths of a second quicker than JSR Robbie. Bruss does improve with 116.5, but AMS kick in the Ferrari, literally the depth of paint on his front wing ahead of JSI Robbie, 10 thousandths of a second. And to put that in perspective, that would be there'd be a photo finisher that was crossing the line for the win. You know, there'd be millimetres, literally millimetres between them. Use of fruit's invalidated. His charge back up, but he's got no fuel, so he's going to have to come in. He should have enough time. One of the Ferraris is going slow at the rear there. I think it's AMS kick. Yeah, Yusuf Fruit is back in the pits. He will try and put some fuel in the car and get back out, but I've lost the timing screen that tells how far into the session we are because of that persistent yellow on the top of the screen. But Gags KK getting a cheeky slipstream off. Is it a Haskar? It should stay out the bloody way. Wow. Oh no, it's alright, they're both on in-laps, but still. Is that Klauser? Yeah, it's Klauser. Klauser should know better than that anyway. Unless he knew Gags was on an in-lap, then fair enough, but it looks like Klauser might be on an outlap himself with Gags on an in-lap. Well, maybe that's known by Klauser. Yeah. So we're going to see a very busy track momentarily because every single driver in the top 12 is actually in the pits. So I imagine, I was about to say, the outlaps will start appearing, and that is going to be a very busy track. I would say you need to leave the pits. You need to press pit release button. I'd say bang on the 2 minutes mark, which means you've got about 15 seconds of animation to get you out of the pit lane, and then obviously a 1:16-ish lap time on here, so you've got probably only 20 seconds to play with in terms of finding space, finding track space, and not tripping over other people on track. So not ideal for anyone that's only just now leaving the pits, such as the Ferrari driver of La Grotta. Oh no, it is AMS Kick that's come back out. Yeah, so AMS Kick, not a great amount of time. Oh, Yaham having a terrible time. Wow, he's not even set a lap. There's got to be something wrong with Yaham's setup there. Right, so I'm going to try and do this without flicking through, but I can't actually do it, it's not selected, so I'm going to have to flick through, unfortunately, guys, to try and find who's first in line. I think it's an Aston Martin. The other Aston Martin, I can't find him on screen. Oh yeah, Night Creed. So no, we'll go Night Creed. We'll start with Chris Tam. So Chris Tam currently sitting with a 1:15.710. Needs a good few tenths to get him up there. JSA Kevin. Oh wow, Bruss. 5 place grid penalty for illegal blocking. Not often you see that. That's potentially a deliberate blocking then. And he's not, Chris Tam's not making waves in his time. He needs to be much quicker at the end of sector 2 than he is at the minute. And there you go, 3.5 tenths nearly. That's more like it, but did get a little bit squirrely there coming out of turn 16. Wow, great turning. That was planted then. This could be a pretty good lap actually. This could be well up there for JSR Robbie's time. As long as he get this hooked up, he's got a little bit of battery to play with here. Full deployment all the way to the line. This could be P2 or P3. It's P3 for Chris Tam. What a lap. JSR Kevin comes across the line and goes Paul with a 1:14.990. We're in the 1:14s now. Fireblaze just came across the line, improved 1:15.418. We put a P4. Yusuf Fruit goes across the line with a 1:16.049 to move up to P8. I think that's everyone done apart from TV Clan. Yeah, he's just come across the line. So JSR Kevin with a monumental lap of 1:14.990. Wow. I did wonder if we could see the 1:14s, and JSR Kevin certainly delivered that. Oh no, sorry, it was AMS Kick, sorry. AMS, oh no, we had one more driver at the end there. So JSR Kevin got knocked off the top spot by AMS Kick right at the very end with a 1:14.967, and JSR Kevin 1:14.990, 23 thousandths of a second. Wow. Amazing, amazing lap times from both those drivers. JSR Robbie in P3, Fireblaze P4, Chris Tam 5, Gajelli in 6, Kevin Ramson in 7th, Yusuf Farouk in 8th, Glock in 9th, and Gags KK finishing out the top 10 for this Division 1 race. So yeah, 1:14s for two of those drivers. Monumental from those two. Let's quickly check the stream chat. So, is it going to be dry? It's overcast, but looks dry. So, we're just waiting for the drivers to finish their race strategies, what they select, their tyre pressures. They can make final adjustments to their front wing. Obviously, the rear wing is already set, which might be a problem for Yaham, who we've seen a pretty monumental failure in a setup, or we can only assume is a failure in his setup. Obviously, I would say he's running a very low down wing, a low downforce rear wing, and he was having issues with that in qualifying. Didn't actually manage, I don't think, to set a lap time. So hopefully Yaham can make a few changes with differential, maybe change the front wing so it's not as pointy. So obviously you've got if you imagine no wing on the rear with 15, 16 points in the front, it's going to act like a pendulum with all that force at the front of the car. So hopefully you can take a few notches off the front wing to make it a bit more stable, play around the differential, things like that. It may be a tyre pressure issue. It may have been running far too low pressures tyres on the rears that are overheating. We don't know. Hopefully we can hear from Yaham at some point. Hopefully at the end of the race when he finishes. So yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what people decide to start on around here, whether it's starting on medium or starting on hards. I think we saw two people from Div 2 start on the hards and they did really well. I think one driver ended up from P5, finished on the podium, and one that started P13 finished about P6, I think it was, if my memory serves me correctly. So there's certainly something to be said about starting on the hards first. The mediums do start losing significant lap time around lap 8. The hards generally become faster than the mediums around lap 6. So, and you don't really lose that much grip on the hards, which is strange. They're a great race tyre. But yeah, I've done 2 practices round here before my race on Monday, and the hards were very good at the start. I really like them, and I'm a bit gutted I didn't do that for the actual race. But you live and learn, and it's each their own. Horses for courses and all that. It's whatever you prefer. So yeah, intrigued to see what happens with tyre choice round here. I don't think we're going to see many people on the hards. You might see probably some of the top 5 on the hards, but I don't think anyone outside the top 5, other than the Div 3 and Div 2 reserves, may be starting on the hards because they've got nothing to lose. Yeah, we'll soon see. It shouldn't be too long and we'll start seeing the cars on the grid. So for all 4 of you that are watching, give us your race predictions. Who do you think is going to win tonight? Or better still, what position on the grid will the winner be? As in, like, where the starting position? I actually think P2. But yeah, Kevin and Kick are going to be certainly a dynamite pairing for this race. There we go, guys. Drivers are on the grid. Let's put tyre allocation on. Oh, there you go. Majority on mediums. We've got Chris and Gagelli on hards. Lagrotta, who's starting just outside the top 10, he's sat on hards. We've got TV Plan and Nightspeed on hards, and Drusso 2 on the hards as well. Yaham at the back on the mediums. Intrigued to see how that goes for him. A relatively quick outlap or formation lap here. Yeah, certainly the front 7 are very much not far off racing speed by the looks of it. Well, obviously not, but yeah, very fast formation lap here. So Bobby Yarham, let's see how he's doing. Hopefully Yarham's managed to do some things with his setup just to negate that spinny axle he's got on his rear of his car. A lot of G's left the session. Not sure why that is. Oh no, Yarham's still struggling there by the looks of it. Anyway, we're going to go on board with Chris Tam at the start, and then we'll quickly flick more towards the front as the start sequence. Oh, let's just see. Yeah, Robbie just out of position there. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 red lights, and the 5th one is out, and away they go. Kick coming across the line straight away. Fireblade just gets overtaken by Chris Tam, so Chris Tam up into 4th place now, chasing down those front 3. Looks like we've got, massively close for Kevin Harrington there, lots of his braking. That could have been disastrous then, but luckily for Kevin Harrington, he managed to get the angle. The use of fruits out. Wow, whoa. So, that'll be virtual safety car by the looks of it. But Yusuf Farouk is out. 10-second time penalty for Gags and for... who was it? Yeah, Gags and Kevin Harrington. What's the penalties on? Penalties. Yeah, 10 seconds for Kevin Harrington, Gags and Gagelli. Not sure what that is. Must be severe contact then. Possibly from something that happened with Yusuf Farouk, because he's now out of the session. We saw that just exiting turn 5, I think it was. But it is a virtual still, no safety car deployed. Which is quickly put race director on just to see incidents. Yes, severe collision. Yusuf Farouk, Kevin Aronson, and Gajelli, all 10-second time penalties. So maybe something happened with Yusuf Farouk, and that's done a chain reaction. And they are racing again now. Another 10-second penalty for Gajelli, ignoring yellow flags. Wow, Gajelli not having a great one. Oh, issues with the Ferrari, as that's another car in the barriers. That looked driving quickly, really, as you see AMS Kick struggling out of that corner, and he went wide, and then they came together. So unfortunate for AMS Kick, who had an absolutely monumental qualifying. But now we're seeing JSR Kevin getting run down by JSR Robbie. So Chris Tam, look at the P3 and looking very good on those hard tyres. And just see obviously Yahan all the way down to Gajelli, now on fresh mediums. As we're only starting lap 3 now. As AMS Kick comes in from new wing, we will be on to probably another set of mediums, I would say. Or maybe a hard to go long. You have to put the hards on. So it looks like I'm going to have a very busy week in the stewards office. But what I'm getting from this so far is that the traction on this track is massively reduced compared to what these drivers are used to. It looks like they're not responding well to the lower traction for whatever reason. It might be the cloudy weather, the track temperature's down maybe. As you've seen Kevin harvesting there, but now bringing Robbie onto his wing. So Fireblaze is here, knocking on the door, and he wants a VIP ticket to this party because he is within the DRS range of Chris Tam. He's on board with Fireblaze now, as you can see, he's very, very close indeed. In the background there, we're just seeing the likes of Klaus, Gags and Glock all starting to weave to try and break the toe. Front group. I will try and capture as much detail as I can throughout the race, but of course this race for the race at the front for the lead is where the actions truly are. As we're seeing JSR Robbie go around the outside, and he did get that move done. JSR Robbie now in the lead, new race leader JSR Robbie, but now will be chased back down by the McLaren driver, JSR Kevin. Oh, a bit of a lock up there for Robbie, sends him deep and a little bit wide. You just see Robbie's car there sliding through the corners. I need to invite someone at the top. JSR Kevin is now back in the lead. Chased down by JSR Robbie. And Chris Tam is still there with a ticket to the party. Fireblaze also knocking on the door as well. This is a full-blown race to pole picnic. It is a free-for-all. So yeah, I'm having a bad time to the time penalty now, but look at the P12 now. So not bad. But I would say he's about 21 seconds off the lead. 28 seconds off the lead. Oh, yeah, I'm speeding the pit lane. And yeah, I'm just tired. Yeah, I can sort of understand why that is. Obviously struggling with the setup. As you can see, Chris Tam going on the inside to turn 15, not quite there. Chris Tam might just be looking after his tyres here, because I don't think he's got the pace to, if he got in front of these, actually build out a lead. So why would he need to overtake? He can just sit behind, save battery. In fact, let's put that on the front actually. There we go. Anyway, JSR Robbie, much healthier battery. Chris Tam, not so much. The Fireblaze is looking relatively healthy with his battery. The Fireblaze makes a move on Chris Tam on the inside into turn 4. He's going to be on the outside now, which is not ideal, not what you want to be. Chris Tam just gives him the elbow. Little bit aggressive from Chris Tam there, but you could argue with just on a trajectory around that apex that put him out a little bit wide. Right, let's have a quick look down the field, let's see what we've got. Vlosia Junior is he back in the session? No, he's out. I can't invite Vlosia Junior because my invites list is blank. So unfortunately I can't invite him back in. Kevin Anderson gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Locked in the pit for a change, that'll be on to the hard, I believe. Lagrotta on the 7-lap old hards, chasing down Gags. So I think we're going to see a charge from Robbie now, because his battery is massively higher than what JSR Kevin has. Oh, bit of a wobble there from Robbie. So Chris Tam, I think he's at the crossroads now. I think this is the point where he should try and start thinking of overtake. He's got the battery for it. Oh! As the two front leaders go into the pits, as the safety car is deployed. Wow, safety car deployed. So Fireblaze missed out there massively as he just crossed the threshold for the pit lane entry. As Kevin gets a 10-second time to severe collision with Robbie. So them two, but we did see them connect as they entered the pits. Maybe a late decision from one or both of those drivers culminating in a collision. So Fireblaze, the leader of this race, Chris Tam already on the hard tyre, sort of like in no man's land, he can't really pit because that forces him to crew stop. So that's now gone from advantage Chris to disadvantage Chris, because he's going to have to pit again while the others can go to the end. So that's actually put Robin McSurd is in the pits then. Let me just double check this. Incidents. Robbie. Oh no, it was just Kevin that got it then. Ah, right, okay. So just Kevin got the penalty, not Kevin and Robbie. So that could be investigated after the race if Kevin feels that it was an unjust penalty, as long as he doesn't pit again, or as long as if he pits again, says it's under green conditions and stays green to the end, and if it's an unjust penalty, it can be removed. However, for any penalties you receive, i.e. a 10-second time penalty, you serve in the pits, followed by a period of yellow flag racing, whether that's a virtual safety car or a safety car, you can no longer have that penalty removed if it is deserved to be removed. So a lot of drivers now on brand new hard tyres, but Russ on 7-lap old mediums will have to pit again. TV plan, for some strange reason, has gone on the Mr. Soft, which are good for about 4 laps, where he will most definitely have to stop again, and if he doesn't have hards available, he'll have to stop twice. 13, 9, yeah, all be very, 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 very slow at the end. Lap 4, this is lap 13, lap 30, oh yeah, so yeah, off the soft onto medium, should be fine. So we're going to get our first safety car restart of the week, I believe. I think it's the first safety car of the week. We didn't have one in Division 2, we didn't have one in Division 2, so yeah, this is the first safety car of the week. Now, going by how close the start finish line is to turn 1, would Chris Tam be better off going late, or you try and break away at the penultimate corner, or final corner, let's say? I've not seen the safety car in this lap message yet, so another lap behind the safety car. Obviously Chris Tam, as we've said before, is at a disadvantage. He's already on 9-lap-old hard. He can take these to 20, but then obviously the guys all on the hards behind him are going to the end, so he's going to be losing a chunk of positions when he pits, unless he can hold out for a virtual or a full safety car. Yeah, it will be what the Welsh say, he will be tamping in that situation. Very unlucky, he just passed the pits anyway. Oh no, he did have the opportunity to pit, but he's in no man's land, you know. He couldn't really go on the medium from when that safety car came out, because his tyres were just shot at the end. You have to do like a, what, a 18-lap stint on medium. That's tyre built to take, so I think he's probably in line to get punctures around 15 laps on the medium, maybe 16 laps. Check on the YouTube messages, see if anyone's messaging. Safety car is in this lap. Yeah, if you're watching this stream, I've always said I can't invite anyone, me back this not active, so it's not a joke, I'm connected to a joke. So where will Chris Tam restart this race. Let's go on board with JSR Robbie. Whoa, Robbie into the back of Chris Tam there. Well, Chris Tam does leave it late. Robbie off the track on the grass. Ah, that is a crash. Oh my God! That was airborne. Wow, Chris Tam out this race. That car was upside down in the air, barrel rolling. I've not seen that ever on this game. And that is the safety car back out. Good news for Chris is that he's got a safety car. Bad news is there's no car to put tyres on. So I think that was a bit cheeky there from was it Robbie? Yeah, coming across the grass there and just he got sideways and took out Chris Tam. So not ideal at all. Engine noise down, will do, John. So Robbie's in the pits. Kevin stays out on those special. Why is Robbie in the pits? Has he got a wing change maybe? Yeah, wing change for Robbie. Yeah, right wing play damage. Chris Tam out. The Blotters in the pits and fresh mediums. Big fans in the pits. Serving his penalty. Yeah, so let's look at penalties. 10 seconds for Kevin, 10 seconds for Cloudfur. Now, if you are Kevin, do you come in and serve that penalty, or do you stick it out to simply put that penalty into the steward's office to get removed if it was unjust? Let's see what let's do it this way. Let's just view profile. There we go. Invite to game, there we go. So if Royfield does get back in, he's not too bad actually, because he's on fresh hards in P9. So not too bad for Royfield. So he's managed to actually pick his AI car's pitted, so hopefully we can see him come back in. Good time for the session. Safety car is in this lap. So the lock will most likely give Kevin a bit of space. And accelerate to the last corner, giving Kevin a false sense of security that he's going to make a good start, but I will see. Kevin's not gone yet. He has now. That caught Matty out. Oh, look at my Div driver in the Div3 driver in P3. So Glock, an old SFR driver, back in the mix, back at the front, and KJ with another 10-second time penalty. Night Feed with another 10-second time penalty. Oh, a 10-second penalty. Wow, these 10 seconds are rife tonight. But look at that gap they've created. Kevin and Glock storming away at the front. It's another safety car. Something at the back's happened. I don't know whether it's... Yeah, Robbie and maybe Deloitte, Deloitte's not in his car still. So yeah, something's happened to Robbie. It's another safety car, so I imagine Robbie will come in for some mediums. Three safety cars and we're only just halfway. Oh my god. Oh. So will Kevin come in and serve that 10-second time penalty? That put Spark, I imagine he'll stay out. He has stayed out. I think the only people that are going to come in is the likes of Robbie. And Royce's AI cars come in. Let's see if I can invite him back in again. How did I do it last time? Oh, as we got TV Clan just having a bit of a spin there under yellow flag conditions. So another lap behind the safety car. safety car is in this lap. Where will Kevin start? He's gone. Yet. Similar lap time on tyres, similar lap life on the tyres. Obviously Glock knows that Kevin's got a time penalty, but we don't know if that time penalty, will be removed in the stewards' inquiry, or if it can be removed. Judging by Kevin's choice to stay out, I believe he thinks it can be removed. But we've got Division 3 drivers and Klauser and Matty being very honest and staying on the back of these guys. It's a very valiant effort here. But I do imagine likes of Firebird and Gag will be on the back of these guys in the next 2 laps and pushing for an overtake. AMS Kit has done a great job to get back up from his incident there. So he's in contention for a good result if he can push on for these next 10 laps, or 10 and a half laps. Oh, Lagrotta with a 3-second time penalty down to 10. Not Lagrotta's best outing round here. Pretty quick driver. Oh, let's just see Matty getting a little bit squirrely into turn 4 or turn 3, sorry. So that's put Fireblaze back into contention for a podium finish. Oh no, Gags KK going off wide there, losing 2 positions. AMS Kick and Gajelli going through. He'll be living with that. The Fireblaze now taking P3 on track from Klauser. And Fireblaze setting a purple sector 2. He's on an absolute charge. And to try and take this distance up. Now, luckily for Fireblaze, Glock and Kevin will be fighting, and that will bring him closer. Kick will be the next person to overtake Klauser. Klauser's a great driver, but obviously not to the pace levels of Division 1. Same as Marty. I think Gajelli and Gags will be coming through shortly. It'll be on this back section when the DRS opens up. You'll see Kick go past Klauser. It's happened immediately before the DRS line. You can see that going to happen straight away before that section even started, but it happened a lot sooner than I thought. I almost want to sound like Murray there. It's happened immediately. Oh, you know what race that was from. If you know, you know. So Fireblaze just sitting a little bit outside that DRS, but he will be getting a bit of a tow. Not necessarily slipstream, but like, yeah, just a little bit of a alleviation of the drag there, just from the outwash from that car in front. And it looks like he's close enough to make this up in the next lap. It's fluctuating quite a bit, but if we just keep calm, Fireblaze might be able to get this within DRS, but he has got AMS Kick on his tail, who's actually within DRS now. So Fireblaze needs to make a hard choice. Does he sacrifice battery? Oh, they're both on very, very similar battery actually. So this could be another fight. It could be potentially Kevin and Glock versus Fireblaze and Kick. Who's the first to rinse in this fight? Glock's not making too much of an impression on Kevin at the minute. Seems to be a bit of a stalemate there. 8 laps remaining of this race. Someone's voices. Is he back in the car? No, I don't think he is. No, he's not. Glock, very similar battery life to Kevin. Fireblaze, they're lacking in battery against Kick. So I reckon Kick is gearing up for an overtake in the next 2 laps. Robin and Cloud changing positions there. DRS enabled, of course. Kick be close enough this time. I don't think he's got enough time in turn 1. No, he doesn't. Not even close. All very similar tyre lives. All between 13 and 15 lap old tyres at front 4. But they've got JSR Robbie, who's on 11 lap old hards, trying to push on and catch these guys. Obviously, I reckon Robbie will know that Kevin's got that 10 seconds and he'll know whether it's appealable or not. And that might be influencing his charge to the front. So this is the point where you're going to see drivers start to push. JSR Kevin at the front at the minute, leading on track with a 10-second time penalty, but like I said before, that time penalty might be appealable in the stewards if it was an unjust penalty. He stayed out, he's not served it, which is a great choice for Kevin if it is appealable, because if he had served it in the pits, with that third safety car we've had, that would then relish the 10 seconds that you serve unappealable. If you serve a 10 seconds in the pits that was unjust, and you're under green flag conditions, and then remain green flag conditions during the race, you can have that 10 seconds added back off, taken off your race time. So with that third safety car, that would relish that not achievable or not doable. So yeah, so I'm leaning towards Kevin thinks it's a penalty that can be taken off. Oh, come on, who's going to make a move? Robbie not pushing forward as much as I thought he was going to be. And if he's going a little bit further back. The problem is, Robbie is in clean air and nowhere near the guys in front to get that, not slipstream, but you know, the outwash effect from the cars, destabilising the air, making it a little bit easier for the car to pass through. Of course, Melbourne is pretty much at sea level. The air is thick. Plenty of downforce available, but any help by getting that air out from the front of the car, it will help straight line speed, but you need to be within at least 2 seconds of the car in front for that to take effect. No movement from the guys in the front. Glock, 55% battery. Kevin, about 40%, going at 30 now because he's depleting his battery. But Fireblaze, sitting just under 40%. Kick is sitting nice and pretty at 6%, and I imagine Kick will be gearing up for an overtake on about lap 27. He's just harvesting a little bit. Staying with these guys, using a bit of throttle, a little bit of burst of DRS here and there just to keep with them. Well, I imagine he's going to be planning an overtake on that lap 27. And Fireblaze is all over the back of Glock now. Glock losing time on Kevin. He's out of DRS as well. Oh no, safety car. What's that for? That was for TV plan, was it? At the back. We've also got slow moving the Grotta. Looks like he's okay. Let's see what's in it off. Yeah, so might have been TV plan. Bloisier still not in his car. Gags, Hazardwing, Gajelli, spinning. Matty. Yeah, so I imagine that was for TV plan on 12 Apple mediums. But it looked like a blue car. Oh, it would be, yeah, it would be TV plan, yeah. I think it was where the guys are now in just the start of sector 2 where we saw that. Safety car is out of the pit lane and waiting to pick up the lead driver. No one else jumping in the pits apart from Gags and the Grotta. 3 laps remaining. Gags on fresh softs with a few drivers in front with penalties, so Gags potentially could actually catapult all the way up to 5th if he has a clean restart and subsequent laps after that. Yeah, keep an eye on Gags. He could actually catapult up the order when it. Oh, Kevin's in! Kevin's in! Wow! Okay. So Kevin's in. Glock stays out. Fireblaze. Yeah, they're all going soft. So everyone's in. Looks like it'll be soft battle. Mediums for Kevin, actually. Probably not a bad idea. I mean, softs are useless after 3 laps anyway, so at least you can push the mediums, you know, smack the ass off their mediums all day long. We'll say all day long for 3 laps. It's actually going to be 2 laps. Wow, this is going to be... Oof. I do not relish these guys. But yeah, look at Fireblaze in P6 on fresh softs, with 3 drivers in front with penalties. And everyone else on used hard tyres pretty much at the end of their life. So Fireblaze, AMS Kick, Kevin, Robbie, Gags. Oh, this could be crazy finish to this race. And the safety car is coming in this lap. So just to cement what we were saying before about Kevin's penalty, because it's now under safety car conditions, after he's pitted, he can no longer ask for that 10 seconds to be added back, taken off of his race time, because he served it and we're under a safety car condition now. So under SFR rules, you can no longer appeal for that penalty if it was unjust. Oh, wow, I'm nervous for the drivers here. If I was Glock, Klauser, Bruce, Matty or Gajelli, I would be absolutely bricking it, seeing the fact that they're all on soft tyres. Unbelievable. Wow. Right, where will Glock go? I imagine Fireblaze is going to take 2, maybe 3 people on the restart. Let's go with Fireblaze, actually. So we go in. This is going to be naughty. Oh, I've got one driver on Matty's off. Fireblaze up to P5. Round the outside on those better soft tyres, grippy as hell. You can see the difference. You can see how much grip he's got. He's going for it. This could be a very easy win for Fireblaze. He's got 2 laps to do it, or 1.8 laps to do it. Bit less now, but the grip, look at the grip levels. They are absolutely monumentally high. So the outside now, by the time he gets to turn 15, it'll be the inside line. He'll really be able to get there. We'll have to concede here. Wow, what a monumental decision to go into the soft for Fireblaze. That's put Bruce all in the back of the other drivers on soft. Fireblaze now off into P3. And this would be almost guaranteed P1 if he can get past Klauser. Klauser should relinquish this pretty easily. The Div3 driver, I don't see why he'd fight this, but that will give a bit of a slipstream to Fireblaze. There we go. Klauser fighting it though. Fireblaze, more precision driving there. Oh, the Ferrari driver's kick is in the mix as well. So I weren't wrong with these soft tyres and medium runners with Kevin, Robbie, AM's kick, Fireblaze, all pushing for podium positions now, as AM's kick is all over the back of Fireblaze. So we are on the last lap. Will it be enough? As Kick gets past Fireblaze. He's got past Fireblaze. What a monumental finish to this race. But Glock, I think he's going to hold on to it. He is. He's just about holding on. Bit of a lock up from Glock. This might be close at the line. If AMS Kick has got enough battery. Oh, he's leaving. He thinks he's got enough. Yeah, and Glock gets it with AMS Kick in P2, Fireblaze in P3, Robbie in P4, Kevin in P5. Wow, what a finish to that race. What a great decision the drivers did there, going on to soft or mediums to finish off. But Glock securing the win with a bold decision to stay out. Really great racing from everyone there, apart from the few incidents we saw, and of course the Aston Martin that went flying in the air. I'm sure I'm going to be busy in the steward's office this next coming days. But yeah, I'm not going to do interviews, guys. It's been a long one, and yeah, I won't be commentating tonight. But yeah, I'll run down the order and then I'll be getting off. Race winner Glock, fastest lap was Kick, we don't give a point for fastest lap anymore. Driver of the day was Bruss, Gajelli most overtakes and cleanest driver Glock. Do you know what, I'm going to give driver of the day to Glock. I am. Returning driver, obviously not lost any pace, but yeah, Glock for driver of the day, just for being bold and staying out on those hards. Yeah, really, really, really good choice there. But yeah, close at the end. So yeah, Glock takes the win from P9 on the grid. AMS Kick P2 from P1. Fireblaze P3 from P4. And then Robbie goes P4. Kevin finishes P5. Gags in 6th. Bruss in 7th. Lagrotta in 8th. Matty in 9th. And Klauser in 10th. We do offer full range points from start to finish. So if you finish in last place, you still get a point. And obviously if you're the last place, it's technically 17. I think it's 3 or 4 points you get. So yeah, finishing the race always pays in SFR. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. Hopefully I've been alright for you. It's always hard on your own as a commentator. Our usual commentator, Indigo, Jamie, he does it monumentally well. He's a fantastic commentator. He's one of the best commentators out there, and we're lucky to have him. Hopefully he's had a nice respite tonight. And hopefully we'll see him back to, next week. I'm sure when he watches this back, he'll be gutted because that was an exciting race to watch. But yeah, do join us on Monday as we go to our next round of racing for Division 3 on Monday, Division 2 on Tuesday, and then back to Division 1 or for the Wednesday. So thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you watching or watching back. Take care, guys. Bye bye.